Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tarot Talks. This is episode 8. We're reading the Strength card for this episode. Okay, so if you watched the last one, we were talking about the Five of Cups not being a good card. Well, here it is. We talked it up. So I feel like the fives in general are just not good because they're all about emotional turmoil, not being in a place of stability. This is coming from a place of stability out into change again. I've actually had a place of stability for quite some time now, and I'm starting to feel like I need to do something different. I need to come out of my comfort zone. I need to do some things and make some changes that are going to be very physically, maybe even financially uncomfortable for me to get to where I feel like I need to be. I don't know where that is yet. I just know that I'm not content right now where I am. So a lot of people will come to you with those type of questions like, how do I make this happen? How do I figure out where I need to be? I just know I'm not where I need to be right now. So the Five of Cups is Mars in Scorpio. It's emotional pain. So Mars is at home in Scorpio. So this should feel good, but it's turmoil. So Scorpio deals with the very deep buried emotions that actually they animate us. They make us do the things we do, but we're not really aware of them being there or why we do the things we do. But that is the program that is running behind everything. It's the thing that's controlling everything are those deep-seated emotions, the things that we buried, the pain that we felt from childhood, everything that made us feel bad, made us feel worthless, all of the things that we bury. So he's really in his bag right here. But he's also not seeing the full cups that are behind his back. He's only seeing the ones that are spilled. So when it comes to, trying to make light of a situation, you have to tell them that, don't put all of your focus on things that aren't going right now. And we're going to have to gather some strength to see it through. Now, this is the Wunjo rune, or Wunyo, I think is the really right way to pronounce it. So this is a double Leo here. We have Leo, the Lion of Strength, and Wunyo is actually ruled by Leo. So Wunyo is joy, success. It's also the victory rune. It's also like when you plant the flag in the place that you have conquered. Okay. Strength, this card's also called lust in other decks. And I think it's because the ultimate feeling of strength to me is not using the physical strength or not acting out things that you want to act out on the physical plane because you're using discipline. Like, I feel like the discipline is the strength. The refraining from running at that bitch and ripping her hair out and smacking her in the face. Like, that is actually strength. When someone comes at you and you're like, hold up a second. You have that conversation in your head. Should I fuck this bitch up? Or should I actually be a grown adult and do the right thing? That's what strength is. Strength is just discipline and not acting on the actual urges. So that's what strength is about. That's what it's picturing to you. It's showing you the animal, and she's closing the mouth of the animal because lust comes in many forms. We lust for food, we lust for sex, we lust for money, we lust for new clothes, we lust for luxurious living spaces, things like that. Lust isn't just a sexual feeling. So it's about toning down those animal urges and becoming more enlightened and more wise. And that's where we actually ascend, is when we let go of the things that tie us so deeply to earth and actually hold us down. So that's where we become more elevated in our consciousness. And that's why she has the Lamniscate over her head, which is the infinity symbol. She is showing the strength of that infinite light being within her. She's not acting like a carnal being, like someone in the flesh. She's actually acting more godlike and more wise. And then we also have the Five of Swords, which I actually didn't look at the planetary on this. It is Venus in Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, Venus is the most loving feeling planet, and then Aquarius is the sign of people who are kind of like, get away from me, don't touch me. You know, it's kind of like a clash of energies here. And this card comes up a lot when you are cheated out of something, or you're the one that's cheating someone out of something. So you can interpret this reading two ways. For me, it came up initially the first way, which is the person who's actually on the end of being attacked. So there's someone who has been betrayed in the biggest sense of the word, because the card on the right, he actually, like, he beat them, but he beat them in a way that made their loss so shameful that they can't even turn around and acknowledge the fact that they've lost. They cannot turn around and acknowledge the person who has bested them, because it's been done in such a hurtful, harmful way that they're just emotionally distraught. And he's actually taking their weapons too. He's like, you know, I got all your shit. So this could be someone who has just experienced an extreme loss. Fives are just a fucked up number. Like, all of the fives just don't feel good, because again, you're coming from a place, it kind of feels like it's just like blindsided, you know, and there's like a lot of change coming forward, but fives lead you to the beautiful number of 6, which is balance and harmony and love. So it's a different type of balance number than 4. 4 is more like content and stable, and you can stay there, but you're never going to feel the emotional effects of what 6 can bring. But you have to go through the 5s to get to the 6. Like, you have to go through that tunnel of torment to get to where you need to go. And that's the scary part. And that's the scary part for me when I was just saying, when I feel like I need to change, I need to do something. It's like, you know, you're fearful of that transition time that's going to feel fucked up. You're going to be very broke. You're going to be very alone. You're going to feel like there's no one there for you. And the kicker is just to be strong and stay the course and use your knowledge. Basically, at this point, when we get to 8, we've accrued a lot of knowledge about life, and we have to do the things that are required of us, because there's no more messing around. Like, you're going to be disciplined or you're just going to fail. You're going to do the homework, you're going to do the studying, you're going to do the workouts, you're going to do the reading, you're going to do the diets, or you're going to fail. It's like what are we going to do here? You know, you have to stay the course, and you have to be strong, because you could go backward or you can go forward, where the choice is yours, you know? And I feel like going backward or staying where you are at this point, there's really no choice but to go forward, because you're in a fucked up space, or you could go back to where you were really weren't that fulfilled. Like, you were comfy, and it's kind of like a complacent, but it's just, you're not feeling it in your chest. You're not feeling that fire and that burn and that love and that passion, and like, that's not there. Okay. But this can also be read as someone who is the aggressor. Okay. Or someone who is thinking about doing something that they shouldn't do. And it's time to exercise that discipline and do the right thing. Okay, so let's switch these cards out and see what we got here. Okay, here's more 5s. And then we were talking about complacency. Well, this is the card of complacency itself, the 4 of Cups. So this is where opportunities are being handed to you, but you're so comfortable that you're like, nah. You're like squandering the opportunities, okay? And the 5 of Wands on the left is all about conflict with others and resolving the conflict with others, because this one is Saturn in Leo. Is it Saturn? Or is it Mars in Leo? Sorry. Yeah, Saturn in Leo. Sorry. So Saturn, again, these Saturnian lessons are going to be very humbling. They're not going to feel good. It's going to feel fucked up. Someone might come at you and tell you about yourself, where you're like, oh, and you feel some type of way about it, but you're like, oh, you know, you might be right. So it's a very humbling experience. You're going to have to work with people that you don't want to work with. You're going to have to work with energies that don't really feel that good. This is about putting your pride aside and working with the hive to achieve the goal. This is like, you know, not the time to be all about yourself. And again, the double Leo, that, see, these are actually, this is actually triple Leo now, because this is Saturn in Leo, and then Wunjo. So this is like this is a very selfish reading to me. This is trying to bring somebody back down to earth. Like, hey, you have all these opportunities coming towards you, but you think you're better than everyone, and you're convinced that you can do everything yourself, and, you know, you don't need help, but you're actually kind of fucking yourself in the end, because you really have to learn how to accept the help. Sometimes it's about that. It's about accepting the help. Some of us are really, really bad at that. We're really bad at realizing that, hey, we can't do everything on our own. So sometimes it's about really being humbled and taming that beast inside of you, again, with strength. But sometimes the beast is the ego. I mean, the beast is the ego, because the beast is lust, okay? And the ego lusts for everything. The ego wants it all, okay? So that is going to be the conclusion of my reading for strength. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you guys are learning how to use your intuitive muscles, because it is so important. Like I said, the way that I read something is going to be totally different from the way that a feeling comes across to you. But I feel like seeing other people's interpretations really does help you kind of build a foundation on where to go from here. So always learn from people, but never compare. If I had to give you a lesson for today, that would be it. Always use people as tools to learn, but never compare your abilities to theirs, because everyone is different. Everyone is special. Everyone's vessel is going to interpret information differently. So again, I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to get the rest of these videos out to you.